Okay, so this is gonna be a weird episode. Good morning, by the way, and all that. So this is like a weird thought spiral I've had for a while, and I've been able to like throw this idea at people in like weird conversations. But so this comes from like a weird thought, like, and I've noticed like I'll go through like all the times I've been able to use it, and I'll kind of like be like why it's like I've ever thought of it to begin with. I don't know. So, there came a time in my life where like I told somebody like I think if aliens came down to this planet, like they would like, and they just like saw, like, let's say aliens came down this planet, which I use for way too many things. There's so many things where I'm just like, well, what if an alien that knew nothing about humans came down, and like what would be its perspective about this? Like these made up aliens I keep talking about. But let's say that happened, and they're presented with a naked man and a naked woman. And I tried to make the argument that the naked woman, I felt like the alien would look at the naked woman and be like, that looks more like aesthetically whatever. That looks better than that other one, is what I think the alien would say. And like some person like asked me why, and I told him, well, like the one on the right, let's say the naked man has like these weird things hanging off of it, like on its lower body, and sure, the one on the left kind of has these things hanging off it, but it looks normal. The one on the right is all hairy and all like it smells, let's say, just fucking smells for whatever reason. I don't know, like these things hanging from it. It's got these two weird things at the bottom. I don't know what the other thing does. And oh, now it's growing. What the fuck is that? And okay, turn around. Okay, that one's like the area where its fecal matter comes out of just looks better on the left. And like the way its shoulders and everything else is made, like it looks better. So that's like the argument I made. And like you might be asking why I even came to that idea. And like for whatever reason, I've had this conversation with normal people, with a bunch of people, where I was like, okay, well, people will talk about a guy's butt or something. I'll be like, okay, guys don't have butts. And I was there, they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, guys have like man butts. Like if I look at a woman's butt and a dude's butt, there's obviously a difference. There's a huge difference. Like it's not like guys, like they'll be like ass or tits all the time, right? It's not like they're gonna look at a dude's ass and be like, oh yeah, that too. No, that's not how it works. Like, and it's like with girls, it's like when girls think romantically about guys, like they usually like will fantasize about like the certain body parts they're into. It's usually like their abdomen, like the V going down to their genitals, all these other things that aren't like, which in fairness, guys aren't like attracted to vaginas. That doesn't seem to be like their favorite place for whatever reason. Maybe because blood comes out of there. They seem to be into ass and tits. Because maybe just like the vagina just doesn't have a whole lot going on with it, despite the fact that that's the part they're having sex with. But with guys, like when girls think of guys romantically, it's like they're not okay. Some girls like guys' butts. Okay, fair enough. Even though I don't understand that because girls obviously have much better like asses. Like, what do you like about a guy's ass? Like with a girl, it's like the way it's shaped, it's bigger, it's, you know, like it matches with their hips better. With guys, like, because I don't like with I obviously see a lot more naked girls than I do guys, and partly because girls are much more sexualized in media and shit like that. And I guess like I don't walk around like trying to find naked dudes. Like IRL, I've seen more naked chicks than guys, unless you count like locker rooms, which even I'll go into that after this. But like with girls, they have some of them like man asses for whatever reason. Man asses are just lumpy, like ugly stepsister versions of female asses. So I don't get why you would like that. And then let's talk about the dude's balls. This is a weird podcast. I can't wait for this to get demonetized. with a girl, no girl has ever fantasy like sexualized about that. At least if they have made no indication of that ever. And I can see why. They're just awkwardly shaped. They like fucking randomly sag all the time, or they like they're different all the time. They're hairy, they're gross, and they literally don't do anything sexually. They just kind of fucking are there while the penis is doing its thing. And a dude's dick, sure, maybe the girls are into that when it's but that's the other thing. Like if you just stripped a girl naked, like let's say the girl stripped sexually or whatever, like dudes are gonna be into that. If you just strip a naked dude, girls are gonna kind of like be like girls are gonna be like like completely different scenario. And that's because he has a flaccid dick and it's not sexual at all. Like it's so weird. Like girls have like power behind like their bodies and they can do all these things, whereas guys, it's just kind of like you can share this with the one you love, or you can just awkwardly chill in a locker room. Other than that, like what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, and like you might be arguing, well, there are guys who are sexual or sexualized and like into it. Yeah, but they're either, you know, gay, so they're like they're committing to this niche that is like into this, or they are B, which is only sexualizing the parts that girls like, which is their abdomen, you know, the other parts of their body, their V, their fucking all of these other things. Like no guy is ever like, oh, let me make sure my ass looks good in these pants. Or like, oh, let me make sure my ball sack like looks good in these skinny jeans. No one has ever done that ever. So it's like two completely different things. So I think it comes to a point like you might just argue like, oh, well, our brains are made that way. Like, so obviously like the way we think about the other gender sexually, that's because our brains, like the chemicals and the way it works. No, I think there comes to a point where if an alien came down to the motherfucking planet and they looked at two naked human beings, one man, one female, like odds are, and how many like when dudes get older, this is like proven, they lose testosterone or whatever else, and they lose their sexual qualities. They get fatter, they get bolder, they get wrinklier, they get fucking all these things. Like some dudes get hairier, all these things. And with girls, obviously, you know, when they get older, the same shit happens. But even like a naked older woman, I feel like would look better than the other's counterpart. Anyway, so that's my thing. Like even today, or in every other day, like I'll be talking with somebody and they'll bring up a topic that involves man ass, and I'll bring up this subject, and it's like. People always seem to kind of like agree with me. They're just kind of like, oh, yeah, I can see what you mean. Like, and then there's like the like one or two girls who are like, no, guys are just as sexy. Like man asses are great. Like, they'll be like, yeah, I'm into man ass. I'm like, I've probably seen at least 1,000,000 times a man like casually slap a woman's ass or hold it or whatever else. Like I'll see like a dude grope his girlfriend's ass like in line at the supermarket, like, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. But if I've never seen the other, like I've never seen a girl just like, yeah, let me touch that ass, boy. Like it never happens. So that's my fucking theory. Yeah. Anyway, I know that was a weird episode. Anyway, thank you so much for listening as always. I'll see you tomorrow with a less weird episode. And with that, I leave you.